jungle, we united now. Tripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who got a move rocking on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em, yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. To the beast and on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite and
Welcome to Bengals and Brews. No, Joe, I did not play the long intro. I played the short one. I did not even have time to answer that question in the private chat. Tonight we are joined by Bengals Whitney and Nicole. I don't want to mess your last name up.
Zembrodt.
Zembrodt. See, I totally would have said Zembrodt.
I have to do like the pronunciation in all of my social media bios to help people. So, yeah, you're good. Everybody.
Yeah, Jill, if you had just read her bio before coming on the show.
Whitney, this is not the professional show. This is not.
Those are your shows. We just fucking
we are
figure
the
shit out.
unprofessional. Like,
just remember she has bro in her name. It's up to bro.
I was gonna say Zembro.
Yeah, just Zembro. What's up, bro? So tell us a little about your background, because Whitney's been on a million times. This first time having you. We're happy to have you. Welcome to Bengals and Brews. We're a bunch of degenerates.
Well, thank you for having me on. So my name is Nicole Zembrodt. I am part of James Rapin's team for All Bengals, contributing writer, giving you all the content, behind the scenes look and stuff like that. All Bengals things and a little bit about myself. Born and raised in Northern Kentucky, right outside of Cincinnati, and just love the city. Went to the University of Cincinnati for school. Worked a little bit in the Bengals front office for a time, and now I'm here with All Bengals.
For a time. It was 6 years. That's a long time.
It was a long time, yes.
We'll do Luther Vision, and then I'll have you continue about your 6 years interning with the Bengals and the years you were there.
Total flex, and
okay, you know what? You're right. Nicole, you worked there for 6 years.
Yes,
with the Bengals front office. And now you work with James Rapine. He's a big deal. So you get this graphic.
Wait, that was a great one.
That's what we call a subtle flex.
I don't have a beer, but we'll cheers that.
So, and then I had Greg in the comments, who you were on Rally Around the Natty. He always from his house does the Luther Vision. So I don't know. He said, I got to explain it to you. It's basically, he's just going to take a picture of us and he's going to tweet it out. So he gives us a warning. Greg, are you ready? Because we're ready.
We're ready.
You can do your best pose. Like,
I like yours.
That's amazing.
So there we go. Yeah. And Travis, he used to be on the show. He does Boogered Up podcast. And every time we would do the subtle flex, it would give him a heart attack. I didn't tell him when we first started it. It just did the graphic during the show.
You can't drop that on somebody.
But 6 years. So 6 years, Nicole. What years? And we were talking about a little before the show, but I believe you started around 2014.
Yeah, started in 2014 as a game day staffer and was able to move my way up to a full-time role. Worked a lot in their marketing and so forth with that. But it was a great time. Met a lot of great people. They have a lot of great people working for that team. Lifelong relationships. So we got a good team.
And have you always been a writer? How did that transition happen into All Bengals?
I haven't always been a writer, but part of some of the things that I handled were part of the TV and radio, and that's how I met James, and then just kept the relationship with James and was able to come on to his team after I left the front office.
Now, is it mandatory that you have to eat Built Bars to be part of James' team?
I feel like every time I go on a show, I am always asked about the Built Bar.
I thought it was
routines
going to be
and
a first.
everything. I mean, they're pretty good. Can't get me wrong there. So
That's
you
what
have
he's.
to listen to Taylor Swift on the way to work too.
Yeah.
I am definitely a Swiftie, so
Lord.
I love the fact that he listens to Taylor Swift too.
Now, did you get the tickets for the concert?
I did, yes.
I tried to get them for my wife and daughters, and I was like, I was in the thing. I thought I got them, even though they're like 300s. And it was like, oh, these are out once I clicked it. And then it was like, go to another one. These are out. And then it was just over. And I was like, wait, what just happened?
It was insane. Just
my
that
wife
whole
doesn't.
process.
My wife doesn't know it yet, so I got to make sure she doesn't sneak down. But yeah, I got her tickets for
Are you
Christmas, and
surprising?
surprising her on Christmas. She has no idea.
Good job, Joe.
What if she watches this?
She
She's not
don't
going
watch
to watch
this.
this.
She never watches this.
None of her wives watch.
I'm not worried about that. I worry about her hearing me. I don't worry about her watching.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited is she going to be when she opens the gift and finds the tickets?
She's gonna freak out. Yeah, so I made like a video, and it's kind of a collage of all of the time she's gone to Bengals games with me, because she likes going into the game, but she's not like passionate about it. I'll be like,
I want to send this to you, Joe, from every guy watching the show right now, by the way.
And says, you've done so much for me, and you go to these games to make me happy. Hope this game makes you as happy. And then it transitioned into look what you made me do video, where it's just like how does the part go, where it's like you're looking for the old Taylor, she's dead. Yeah, it goes to that part of the video.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that is actually amazing. I think that's a great gift.
I hope all the dudes in this chat are taking freaking notes.
I know, just like the fact that like the thought behind this, the effort into it, it wasn't just like, hey, I'm gonna give you tickets.
Drop the mic, Joe. Hey, that was more than a subtle flex.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do a subtle flex thing.
No, that's a pull. You dropped it for yourself, Joe? God, he knows how well he's done.
Sorry.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Sorry for being amazing, he says. No, Fiji, I don't compete with that. Now, last year,
make a video, Dale, of you like saying that, like a very similar video, but at the end it'd just be like, but I tried.
Sorry.
Do I get credit for trying?
Yeah, exactly. I gotta say hi to my sister. Hey, Kim, which I hate that fucking name, and you know it. The second worst is my sisters I had 2 older sisters, and they called me Delbert Ann growing up. So,
wow.
Which I don't know why I just put that out there.
Yeah, because now you know that's
put it up. You put the comment up.
Yeah, Derek, you're right. Which you can't even get on your own show, but that's Derek, Nicole. So you can see his little picture there where he's trying to look cool, but he really in real life looks even worse. I mean, that was terrible, but even worse in real life.
He's always throwing shade on Derek.
Well,
when you were calling him the elf.
A lot of people think he's a Ninja Turtle. He's Michelangelo at the games because they just have the thing on, and they're like, "Hey, Michelangelo, right?" And he gets so mad. Well, Derek, you better step the game up while you're shopping, because Joe just changed the game for everyone this Christmas.
You want me to post a video and tag you guys, or just tag your wives? Just kidding.
Nicole, I gotta ask, like, I want to know more about front office stuff. So, like when I was there at that one thing, like it just struck me that it felt like almost like a family run. I mean, it is technically a family run organization, but it felt very much like a family biz. Like, did you have the same impression?
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I was there before any Elizabeth or Caroline came in. But very much family oriented. I think for me, as owners, Katie and Troy very much interact with everybody in the organization. It doesn't matter your level or anything like that. I had a lot of great interactions with them. And then I have lifelong friendships and relationships built from working there too. So definitely family oriented. They really pride themselves on that too.
Yeah. Do you get like a little bit of like, I feel like there's great like female energy in our organization too, like starting with Katie, obviously, but like,
I
Yeah.
would definitely agree with that. They have some really strong female presences, just like starting with Katie, and then you have the daughters now, and then you have Emily Parker, you have Alex Simons, you have Marissa, you have a lot of there are a lot more female presences in that office, a lot of whom I'm still friends with, and again, just really good people, good hires that they have.
Yeah. I love that about us.
Mm-hmm.
Both those things. Yeah.
I'm just laughing at Joe tossing his cat because he's
I
like,
know the cat keeps jumping up here all the time. Ignores
Joe,
me all the rest of the
I
time.
can't imagine any pussy that wouldn't want to hop
I
on your
knew
lap
you-
after what you
I
just told
knew.
us. I mean, to be fair. So, all right.
Oh,
Whit, you
Dale.
were in Tampa Bay. How was that? How was the game? How was the vibes? I heard their fans was kind of dicks to Jeff, but it's all different ones you interact
Jeff?
with.
So
Yeah.
first of all, Jeff is in trouble with me. I am not.
Yeah, he said he would be. Yeah.
speaking to Jeff. I texted him a million times, giving him my location so many times, and he could just not figure it out to get to me. So I was in Tampa Bay all weekend and never saw him. I gave him every place that we went to, like on the weekend, like during the weekend, but he was too busy doing other stuff in Clearwater. Then I came to Clearwater. He still didn't meet up in Clearwater. And then I tried to text him my location in the stands and still didn't come. So
Game day Jeff is like the Tasmanian devil. There's no
That's true.
reason, there's no logic. He just does.
And Nicole, we're
things.
talking about strawberry ice.
I was going to say, are we talking strawberry ice here?
Yes.
Talking about the
Yeah.
Ice Man.
he
That's
is
hot
in the
Joey.
doghouse right now. But no, Tampa Bay, no, the fans were freaking amazing. Like, we had the best time. The What the Buck tailgate, highly recommend. Like, they made us feel like that was just as much of our tailgate as it was theirs. Like, the people were amazing. And honestly, I think there was more Bengals fans in the What the Buck tailgate than there were Tampa Bay fans. But it felt like a home game. Legit.
Well, we could hear the Who Dey chants on
Yeah.
TV. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I was, which Marissa, she slept the entire first half. But the second half,
was a
she
good part
awoke.
to sleep
which-
through.
Good. Yeah, that's what I was like. You didn't miss anything there in that first half.
You got to keep her awake the whole game on Saturday.
That's
though.
hard to do, man. You've seen it. It's interesting.
It was awesome.
Derek painted his hair white for Troy Blackburn. He met him at one of the events they had earlier this year. I'm pretty sure he would have let Troy paint his hair white, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He talked about Troy for 2 days straight after that.
Oh, damn.
After he met him.
Man,
I'm just being honest, okay?
What just happened? It's okay. Derek, don't be ashamed, Derek.
It's okay to let Troy
is
come
love.
in your hair. I mean, it's fine. I will let Joe Burrow come on my face. It's
Oh,
perfectly
yeah.
fine. Who wouldn't, though? To be fair, it's Joe Burrow.
No comment.
Joe?
Oh, I wouldn't even hesitate.
Nicole? She's pleading the fifth.
You guys are cutting out. We're not hearing you.
God.
Right.
Nicole's never coming back on the show already. Scared her off. 13 minutes in, scared her off. Good job, Joe. Way to be a degenerate.
Yeah, it was all me.
Yeah. Anyways, let's preview this Patriots game. See that smooth segue?
It was perfect.
So, what do we think keys to the game? We'll go to Whitney, then Nicole, back up to you, Joe, and then I'll save the best for last myself.
I don't want to go first.
Okay, we're going to Joe, and then to Nicole, then to Whitney, and I'll save the best for last myself.
Yeah. Keys to the game, stopping the run. I mean, if we make Mac Jones try to beat us, he's not capable of it. It is what it is. Call that a dig. But their offense is not nearly as powerful as ours is. If they get down 17-0, it's curtains. So, it's like we've talked about with a lot of the keys to the game, especially against these tough defenses. but not as strong of an offense. We got to get off to hot starts, and we got to win the turnover battle. I mean, that's the only way we lose is if we're like -2 in turnovers and letting Stevenson run all over us, control the clock, keep Joey B off the field.
I'm up.
You're up.
I'd say to piggyback off that, just a little stat. Stevenson has had 243. Is that right? 243. Yeah, 243 touches. And then Damian Harris is the next with 97. And Harris has missed 5 games. So clear that Stevenson runs the whole offense. My key is flipping to our offense, and the Patriots defense did a really good job at containing Davante Adams last week. They did a lot. They had more attention on him, but their secondary receivers had a lot of success. So I am going to say our secondary receivers, which really aren't secondary receivers in Higgins and Boyd, against their secondary, I think they're going to have big games if they choose to play Chase like they played Adams.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't have any belief in Mac Jones. And so, especially if we've got Trey Hendrickson coming back and he does what he can do, which is just ruin quarterback days. Like, I think that's a key to the game. The weather, right, guys? What do we think the weather plays any factor in the game at all? Or like,
I thought it was just supposed to be cold. Are they calling for rain too?
I thought it was supposed to be colder in Cincinnati than it is in New
really?
England, but still cold because it's going to be very, very cold here.
I know we were flying out a day early, right? Like we
Right.
flew out today.
That's why I was
They flew
asking.
out tonight.
Yeah.
Just as a precaution, I think, though.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because I was genuinely curious because I haven't been paying attention. But when I heard they were flying early, I thought, oh, is there like a snowstorm coming or what's up with that?
In Cincinnati tonight. But here, I'm going to Google or Weather Channel this.
I might beat you.
Okay.
Yeah, as of now, it's a high of 21, sunny, winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. There are gusts up to 30 miles per hour, so I think the wind would be a factor more than anything.
But
it doesn't look like no rain, no snow.
Well, snow.
No snow.
But
we'll be fine.
Yeah,
that won't be a factor.
The wind will be the only concern if it gets real gusty.
It says 18 degrees when the game starts. So
yeah.
But yeah, I'll say mine. Like I got a couple, but Matthew Judon at defensive end, 14.5 sacks this season. He's really freaking good. So slowing him down, but our offensive line has been playing well. But I don't know if maybe someone else will know this, if they move him around a lot or not, or if he's on one side or the other. Because if he's against Jonah, I'd feel a little better.
Yeah.
If he's against Collins, he's got that speed that I'm just like, I don't want to see Collins laying on the ground 3 or 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, James and Jake talked about that with their crossover with the Patriots locked on folks, and they do move him around. Him and I can't remember what's the other rusher, Uche. They do move Judon Uche around, so it's not necessarily he's on Jonah or on LC. It'll just depend, and it may be something they put Judon over LC and try to exploit that, since he can get beat with those guys that are really, really quick, and Judon's he's having an incredible season.
Oh, yeah.
So quick.
Yeah. And then, their defense in general, along with that, 6th best defense, only allowing 312 yards a game. So they have a really good defense. We have a really good offense. And I think we just got to find ways to score points, whether it's running the ball, passing the ball. But like you said, Joe, if we get up early, I don't see.
Put it to bed.
Yeah. I don't see how they can come back. And then Stevenson was mentioned. That's their best weapon. 914 yards, 5 tutties. Like you can't rely on the running backs, but as you said, Nicole, he's gotten the majority of the carries. I think he's going to continue to get the majority of the carries. So, but Devontae Parker might be out at receiver. I think that helps us too. So that's just some of my keys to the game. You guys want to go into Pro Bowl snubs, or do you want to continue with that first, Whit?
No, I was just going to say, I bet that I can't imagine how unfun that locker room has been this past week after the way they lost to the Raiders, that really dumbass play. And Bill Belichick strikes me as not fun on a normal day ever.
Seems to enjoy.
I bet he was full asshole this whole week. So I don't know that changes anything. I'm not the biggest Belichick fan. I respect him to a degree, but I think he's overblown and overhyped. And stuff. But I think he's been on his team, and his team feels like they have something to make up for, I think, with how they lost that game. So I think he'll have them as ready as possible. It's just his way of doing it is so different. It's like mean and beating you into submission kind of vibe instead of like the Zach Taylor, much more positive vibe that he motivates.
Well, it's kind of like Jamar said about Tom Brady too, like the way he can get onto his players and blame his offensive linemen and yell at his receivers going into last week. And Jamar's like, I wouldn't want to play with a quarterback like that. There's probably a lot of players that don't want to play for a Bill Belichick. They don't want to be talked to like they're little children. They're professional athletes, you know?
Yeah.
I think the culture of the Bengals just in general is a blessing to be a part of. And people don't really get that until you're in that environment. You can truly be yourself, as you can see with this Bengals team.
Yep. That was my biggest argument when early on, and all of Bengals Twitter is freaking out when we're 0-2 and criticizing Zach Taylor play calling even for his job. I'm like, this guy has created a culture that not many places have. And he has gotten us to a place that no other coach has gotten us to in a really long time.
Who has a more fun team right now? Tell me. Who has a more fun locker room, more fun team that's more connected than we do right now?
Nobody.
I would say
you could say the Eagles.
I was going to say the 49ers and San Fran are just like really doing
but are their locker rooms as good just because they're winning or because it's genuinely good? Because even when it's bad, when we're not doing good, like that bad start that Joe was just talking about, we were still connected as hell, and the guys were still loose, and the guys were still in love with each other. So, like, I don't know. Does the 49ers and Eagle have a locker room that even when shit falls apart is still as good as ours? I don't know. I love the culture, though.
So Greg's not going to stop asking this. This must have been something on Rally. Do you still compare T. Higgins to a hot dog? He must be a footer, big dick. What? I don't know.
Glizzy.
So like
Gobbler.
Greg does compares like a food to they compare food to a player.
Yeah, Andy Dalton's a grilled cheese. We all know that.
I thought he said be ready. So I thought I like had to pick of my own. And I was like, Joe Burrow is like a piece of pizza, like especially like a 2 a.m. slice, like it's always good. Always good. So that's the one that I had ready. But then he just gave me T. Higgins. So I really wasn't ready for this question at all. And I was like, and the stuff with the glizzies that have been out, and I was just like, T. Higgins like a hot dog.
Fresh on your head, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, T. Higgins like a hot dog. It's always reliable. Like in any situation. And then of course, you can take where you want that with that, but
do you want to say now if you could correct that and turn back?
Why you put me on the spot again?
Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
All right, we'll come back to that. We can come back to that.
Okay.
So I seen this, which I hadn't heard this, also from Big Savage Greg, that Trent Brown, their offensive tackle, is liking posts about Brady or Garoppolo being their quarterback. That's not a good sign for locker room chemistry like we were just talking about.
I mean...
Yeah, that happened earlier this week.
Yeah, I mean...
Yikes.
I don't know how any fan or within that organization can be... think that Mac Jones is definitely the guy.
Right.
I know, but you don't want your fucking offensive lineman who's protecting you during the game to be like, yeah, I can't wait to get rid of this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I called him noticeably limp last night on Tiger's Talk, and I stand behind that.
Noticeably limp?
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah.
is why I love you. This is why I love
Oh
you.
my God, that's great.
Yeah. He's such a dud. Just a dud.
Nicole, any thoughts on Mac Jones just being a baby back
If he was a
bitch?
food, he'd be a milk dud.
There
True
you go.
or false,
There you go.
Oh man, that
True.
was a good one. That was a good one. I just think I just think he hasn't been. I mean, he had 1 year at Alabama playing. He came into the system, was drafted to New England. There's such a high standard in New England that I don't think he can live up. There's just a lot of pressure to follow Tom Brady, like, and all
Yeah.
that too.
The only thing I will say is he doesn't have the best weapons. I
Right.
mean,
He does no weapons. I mean, you have the
yeah,
tight ends are better in Smith and Henry than his receiving core.
right. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I still don't think he's the guy. I think he's
No.
mediocre at best. But you've seen what elite weapons have done to guys like Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying he's in that category
Andy
at
Dalton
all.
in 2015. Like
Right.
Yeah,
that
but
that
also
would be Mac Jones ceiling to me would be Andy Dalton. You surround him with talent and have a great defense.
Sure.
There's a
And
thing though
offensive line.
too that like really elite quarterbacks, like really really talented quarterbacks, can raise the level of the guys around them. I mean,
Sure.
only to a certain extent, but yeah, you can. Look what happens like when we have to put in like second string guys and all of that this season, and they're like completing passes like a mofo. What am I?
No, I'm like trying to put it like exactly like you look back to the Browns game.
It's
and
always the
see
opposite. You got it.
Yep.
It's the opposite
Like that one?
of your natural instinct.
Okay. I mean, you look back to the Browns game with Irwin and Trent Taylor and what Burrow was able to do without everyone, like without Higgins and without Boyd.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything else on this New England game that we just want to talk about?
Just
in
screw
general?
Bill Belichick. He's like mediocre at best without Brady, so whatever.
Saturday, 1:00 game. Do you think coming off the short week on a comeback win, we could kind of be like, oh, we're just, but I don't know. We're getting healthy also. If you look at the injury report,
I think there's a possibility we could come out flat. I mean, I'm not looking at everything through orange-colored glasses, and that's been the MO of this team that we have had. We've had times where we come out slow, but it's like, we don't have to worry. We always figure it out, whether it's on defense and Lou making adjustments or the offense finding its rhythm. It's all good.
I hope we got thirst trap.
Yeah, it sounds
Bengals
like he's
haven't
good to
won
go.
in New England since '86, so let's get that monkey off the back too.
But see, that's what we love to do. Like
Oh,
that
yeah.
is such a theme for the
Yeah.
this Bengals team is like we break curses and all that kind of stuff.
Brady was 89-0 when having 17-point leads. 89-1 now.
I get so distracted. Is that a Dwight Schrute bobblehead?
It sure is.
That's awesome. Yes, I love it.
I love
great.
that.
That's
I
so
love
This will
great.
go with me everywhere.
Dale, why have we never talked about The Office? We'll talk about some other time.
Yeah.
Me and Rachel are obsessed. Anyway,
We'll just have a full episode about The Office one day.
let's do it.
Well, that's my favorite memes. Like, I always try to incorporate The Office into any way I can. It's a phenomenal show.
I'm a big Office fan. That
Whitney?
and Friends.
And
Whitney, I was gonna
Parks
say,
and Rec.
Whitney, if you say you don't like The Office, I'm breaking up with you.
I'm obsessed with it, and I watch reruns if there's nothing else on TV. Like I just there's a couple channels that always has it playing, and I put it on by default.
Oh yeah.
100% in love. Also, Parks and Rec.
I will
Parks and
never
Rec is
understand
awesome.
the people. Yeah, Parks and Rec is awesome too, but I'll never understand the people who's like, Office isn't good. And I'm like, well, neither was your mom at sex. Whatever. Moving on. You just got to. I don't understand you people.
No, we can't be friends.
Yeah, exactly. So
I bet Jeff doesn't like The Office.
Probably.
really not. That's why I didn't meet up with you.
Right. He's in so much trouble.
So Pro Bowl snubs for the Bengals. Who do we think? Like Chase made it, Joe made it, and
Trey.
Trey. Blackout Trey, which good for Trey. Had he made it
Yeah,
before?
last year.
Yep.
He did make it last year. So second time Pro Bowler. Well deserved. He's one of the best.
Second time except for Joe. It was his first time.
Yep.
Oh,
Joe did not make it.
I remember my first time. No, we're not doing that. Okay.
No.
All right. So do you? I'll start out this time, and I'll just say DJ Reader because it's super obvious.
I think everybody agrees with that one.
I know he missed a bunch of games, but
and
come
that's
on.
the only reason why. And I hate that.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It's not relevant to the level of gameplay.
Right.
And I said he better still be first team All Pro because Pro Bowl, who gives a shit? Honestly, now they're playing skill competition. It's irrelevant.
It's the honor.
Right.
Well, I think being
the recognition.
I think being All Pro is more of an honor for a lot of these guys. So I'm hoping he gets that recognition because that. And I think for Hall of Fame voter, that's a long way out. But I'm just saying, DJ Reader is that good as a nose tackle, at the position he plays. Like he is that talented. He changes our whole team. It's like everybody's running all over us
all week for that guy and double team his ass every play. So yeah,
and he still makes plays. He still makes plays. Like he's batting passes down. He's getting pressure. He's dominant against the run.
Yeah.
Do we have a second person then?
Yeah, what's Sam Hubbard got to do to prove himself at some point? Because I mean, that guy, I am terrified without him. Honestly, not terrified. I believe in our guys. Whatever, it's fine. But he's such an integral part of our defense, and he's such a huge reason why it works the way it does. And he's just incredible, and he doesn't get talked about ever.
I think the jump he's taken this season with
bullshit.
It's a popularity contest, honestly. Pro Bowl is a popularity contest. But I think
he's also got the looks. Why isn't he? I mean, he's got it all. He should be so popular.
We talk about Sam Hubbard. Oh yeah, my wife would fuck the dog shit out of that man. Straight up.
He's not my type, but okay, I got it though. He is good looking. But why doesn't anybody talk about him?
In the jump he's taken this year with his pass rushing too. Obviously he's always been a run stopper, but the pass rush, he's taken a huge step. Very reliable, high motor, great guy on and off the field.
That's a good way to say he's white. High motor.
What the hell?
No, when you're talking about guys when you're in draft and they say high motor, it's usually a white guy.
He's all over the field. He's all over the field.
I think the biggest reason. Sorry, Nicole.
No, you're good.
I think the biggest reason Hubbard doesn't get recognized is because he doesn't put up the stats as far as he doesn't have a ton of sacks. He doesn't have a ton of turnovers.
But he's responsible for most of them. Without him, those things don't happen. So at some point that has to factor in.
Nicole,
I'm not arguing against Sam Hubbard.
Nicole, do you know his sack amount this year?
Off the top of my head, I'd look it up real quick.
I feel like he's had at least five.
At least what?
At least 5.
What's the question?
His 6.5.
6.5.
Even better. So 6.5 sacks, and he's dominant against the run. Because I was saying that the last few weeks. I'm like, it's by far the best year of football he's played, in my opinion, because he was never the consistent pass rusher. And this year, I feel like he is.
He's incredible. Also, give me some Von Bell. Give me some T. Higgins. I'm fine with that too.
Jermaine Pratt, Logan Wilson.
Jermaine Pratt, Logan, yes.
Oh, was that your type?
No,
Your face
not at
said
all.
it was.
No, but I just am in love with his gameplay. Truly, he balls out.
One more I have is Ted Karras. I think he has been such a diamond in the rough. We've talked a lot about it, Dale and I, about just.
He's my type. We'd be two bears just going at it in the forest.
He has been rock solid. I mean, any times that the line has had their problems this year, it's never been the interior. And a big reason for that is Ted Karras. And I think he's really brought this group together and has just been rock solid. You never see him get steamrolled or miss an assignment. He's really good and just never gets talked about. And I knew that none of our O-line would get recognized because the perception is that we are mediocre at best offensive line, where in reality, I think we're closer to a top 10, top 12 offensive line at this point in the season.
I just want to say thanks, Chris, for trying. He said he asked the supervisor. He works the same one. Hook up with some ass pick. See, I could be like, what year the Taylor Swift tickets, Joe? If I got like just Sam's bare ass and put that in my wife's stocking, boom, superhero.
Booty butt naked.
Yeah. Good try though, Chris.
Be great. I love Mike Hilton too. I just love our whole team. Forget about it. This is a rabbit hole that I can't go down because you can list anybody and I can tell you how much I love them.
And why they should be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, they're so high caliber on and off the field. It's ridiculous. They're all my type.
They're my type too. They've been making me hard every Sunday. Hopefully this Saturday.
Me too.
Joe, you want to ask a professional type question to everyone?
It would be so impressive.
Oh, I got to bring the professionalism in. No, I think overall, just Nicole, as far as what was your biggest takeaway from working within the Bengals organization? Like, I know because I think you went to school for sport management or marketing, and
yeah.
What was your perception ahead of time of what it would be like versus the reality? Like, what was the biggest thing you learned?
I would say the biggest thing I learned, I don't know if there's just like one biggest thing I learned. It really was like I grew up. I started as a sophomore in college there and was into my early 20s working there. Really grew up there. Their family, they love the city of Cincinnati. They want to bring a winning football team to the Cincinnati. They are so proud of it. So it makes me really happy to see just the success that they're having both on and off the field. In terms of working lessons I learned, just relationships are always big. And like I've a lot of great relationships from the time there too. So I had a good time when I worked there.
Very cool. What are your long-term aspirations?
Long term, I'm really like community work. I like highlighting that in my writing too. So we'll see some community engagement things. We'll see how that works out. I also am a big like event person. So just
You need to get hooked up with Elizabeth then. You guys could be a dynamic duo.
We'll see how this all works out.
Elizabeth, I know your burner watches our show weekly, so get in touch with Nicole.
I just I'm enjoying my time right now with all Bengals, and then just where my career takes me. So just appreciate the opportunity I have with James and to work with the team.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at things in general, as far as don't look too far ahead and
right.
Enjoy the moment, and you never know where your experiences are going to take you. I mean, I was a sport management major, but I'm now working in software, and it was the best thing for me because I didn't, lock myself into one thing, and just took opportunities as they came and made the most of them. So
and now awesome. You work for the CIA. We don't even know what Joe does. It's part of the show. We don't even know what he does.
Are you like serious in the CIA? You just can't tell us what?
No. I work for a.
He wouldn't be allowed to tell us if he did.
I work in the financial services industry, and I work in software.
Are we sure this is true, or this is just a cover up?
It's probably a cover up.
Never know.
And Derek tried to correct it, but he said went with the gallon of win in her glass. Win.
I'll
That's
take
how they talk in the gated community.
She's drinking Ravens tears. She's drinking
all the tears.
Buccaneer blood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I'll be right back.
Well, now who's going to be
That was
professional? Now who's going to be professional on the show? That's not good.
Not it.
Nicole, you want to ask a question to Whitney? This is how.
What is your like best Bengal experience? I know you don't live in Cincinnati. How often you come back? I mean, I know a lot of the viewers probably know, but like
she never comes back, Nicole. She never comes back. I've yet to hug her yet, and it's fucking disappointing.
I know.
But
you know what? I was gonna say I got to go to the New Stripes event. I talk about that every once in a while. Subtle flex. When the
you want me to
no, it's fine. When the uniforms were revealed, and that's when I did get.
How was that? I didn't hear. I want to know how that was.
It was freaking incredible. It was because like there was only 6 of us. And they really rolled out the red carpet for us. They had no reason that they had to do it. We saw the uniforms before most of the players had seen the uniforms. And then that is where I got that vibe of like Elizabeth was just so into talking about like her family and her grandpa and like her great grandpa. And like it just felt like a very welcoming, very family vibe. But anyways, I would have said that. And it's close, but honestly, I think what surpassed it was that playoff game last January against the Raiders in Cincinnati. Because, like, I feel like the entire stadium levitated when we won that game, and then everybody was incredible.
And I was there and didn't say hi to you after at Yard House.
Nope. So whose fault is that you haven't had me?
So people come to you, you go to them, and nobody says hi.
Oh, she was at it. She was big time in it with Cap and Jess, and I knew all them a little bit. I didn't know as many people as I do now, but
no. But were you at that game, Nicole? Like it was the best game as far as like a game is concerned. That was the best game I've ever been to.
I was unfortunately on IR with the Rona.
No.
Yes.
See, that was me. The Chiefs game when we won the freaking North. I was.
Yes,
I'm so sorry.
Literally the worst, but like I was so happy for everybody. Like it was just insane.
What? Hey, who is this?
Who this?
Put the mask on. You look better. You ugly fuck.
Hey, listen. He said we need somebody professional in here, so I figured that was my cue, but I don't know about all that. But what's going on, everybody? Sorry, I was doing some little last minute Christmas shopping. We were going to do it tomorrow, but you know how everything is right now. So we were like, well, we'll just go try to get it over with tonight. But what's going on? What's everybody doing? Whitney's got her gallon of win.
It's beer.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I'm on Bengals and Brews. I thought I'd finally bring a brewski with me.
Yeah.
Well, I completely forgot to go out and buy beer, but so I might have to do that before the weather gets bad. I might run out just to go get the necessary, the necessities and all that.
There you go.
Yep, hunker down, dude.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Raiders playoff game, and that is where me and Dale and Derek all met.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Well,
just met in the tailgate. Well, I had kind of talked to Derek a little bit on Twitter here and there, and I might have met you at a previous game, but I know that was the first time I met Dale. And yeah, we just stayed in touch on Twitter ever since, and here we are.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun that game. A lot of tears were cried. A lot of
there wasn't a dry eye.
flowing.
I think that was part of it. Like I just looked around like when that happened, and every grown man in my area, I just tears.
Oh,
like
yeah.
The videos just made me emotional. Like seeing just the pure happiness of people hugging strangers, crying, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's been so long.
Shout out I think it was the WCPO team that had the big. Oh, that's too bright. I'm still trying to get all my light and everything adjusted because everybody says I look too white on here.
You're talking about the the collection
the
of all the
collage.
different fan reaction videos.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was great.
Put you in your feels.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I cried after every playoff game other than the Super Bowl. Yeah.
There was just
Losing
something
didn't make me
special
cry.
about that one because how long that curse had stayed with us.
Yeah.
That drought had been such a big deal for so long. And then not only did we break it, but it happened in the city, you know, so.
Yep.
And I think so many people thought that there was going to happen in 2015 and 2016 with the January 2016, but everyone thought it was going to happen in 2015, and then obviously that collapsed, and it was time. It was overdue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you could just feel the weight lifted off of every fan's shoulders, and yeah, you couldn't help but cry.
Yeah, it was amazing. So that's
Which
probably and I want to come to another playoff game this year, like when we go to the playoffs. So I don't think I'm going to get to come to a regular season game in Cincinnati this year. I just don't think it's going to happen. I went to a couple away games. That's it. But when we go to the playoffs, I mean, that might just have to happen. But the tickets are probably going to be insane, right?
I think somebody said
they went on sale today. I thought.
Yeah, they were like $300 for the upper deck right now, $250, $300 a piece.
And that's just wild card.
Yeah,
that's just wild card round. Hopefully,
which
there
we
is
can
a wild
clinch
card
tonight
round for us.
We can clinch tonight.
Yes,
we'll have to see what happens. But that was going to be one of the questions I had for everybody. What if you were a betting man? Since we are sponsored by Betfred Sports. What percentage do you think if you had to go between 1, 2, 3, and then 5th or worse, where would you put your money for the Bengals to end up this season?
I'll let the ladies go first. Nicole?
I would go. I'll go. That's hard. It's hard because
there's a lot of things that have to happen.
What's the question? Where we are going to land?
What seed is the most likely for us to finish at? Like betting with your money and not your heart.
I'm going to be conservative and bet with my brain 3.
Yeah. I mean, I think just by virtue of like the hole that we dug for ourselves at the beginning of the season, I would 100% agree. I think that's the most realistic spot for us to end up 3.
And that hole, I think, is the reason why Joe Burrow isn't the top of the MVP conversation. It's a lot of the reasons why Bengals aren't being recognized in different areas.
Yep.
But you look at the numbers now, and it's like, holy cow, they're good.
Yeah.
Never mind. He just came out of like a pretty intense surgery and all that kind of like the man can't get a normal off season.
Right. Well, and I mean, you look at Jalen Hurts' odds, and they took a dive just because he got hurt, and that's just kind of how that stuff works. It's upsetting, but that's just they don't care if you're healthy for all 16 games or all 17 games. I guess you should say it's about how did you play all 17 of those games.
Yeah,
and quality over quantity. What are we talking about here? It's football. People get dinged up like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Happens. It has nothing to do with like level of talent.
Yep.
And also, I'm going to go ahead and throw out there. I got a little like salty recently, just personally, when I saw everybody talking about like who should be like the coach of the year and all that kind of thing, because I get mad retroactively for last season because I think last season Zach should have got it.
Yes.
This season, I can make an argument for several of those other coaches that are on the list, and I won't even make an argument for Zach this year. I'm not mad about this year. I am still pissed about last year.
Yeah.
Like, how do you take you take a record of like 4 wins and 2 wins the year prior, and then you march a team to the Super Bowl with the best locker room chemistry of any team.
They get to Vrabel?
Yeah, Vrabel got it last year.
Yeah.
I think Zach should be in it this year, but again, that 0-2 start is going to be a black cloud over everybody.
He's number 1 in my heart, though, because of that, because of all of the adjustments that he's made and the rest of the coaching staff has made throughout the season to turn the tide, because it just speaks to what we already know about the guy. He has no ego. Like, he doesn't mind admitting, like, I need to change something. Like, he expects all of his players to work on getting better every day in practice, but he also holds himself to the same standard, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a great Zach Taylor story. So as we talked about my time in the office, so the day after the Rams lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl, he flew in with his family for head coaching and everything. And I was taking a group through the stadium, and we crossed paths, and he just went out of his way, introduced himself to this group, shook my hand, was like, "Hi, I'm Zach Taylor. Nice to meet you." And it was just a great first impression of him. And ever since, through everything, I've always just been a huge fan of him, a huge fan of his wife, just great for the city. So
let me ask you this. I'm curious if you have any insight on this. I remember when he was going through the interview process, right? And there were so many names being like slung around by like all of us, the fandom, everybody on the outside looking in, like all of these tenured coaches and all this kind of stuff. Then you got this young guy who's never been a head coach, never even been an offensive coordinator in the NFL, who flies into town, and you start hearing about them, and like everybody's like, well, what the hell? And then I remember when he got hired, one of the guys in the front office, somebody from the front office said something about the fact that like they were so impressed with the vision that he like painted during his interview and all of that. I just would love to know what he said in that.
I don't have any background on any of that processes or anything like that, but I did hear like it was great, like he did have, like he was really prepared, but I don't have any insight on that. So, but obviously it's worked out. Up the growing pains, he just needed to get his own people in, and they've drafted well too.
Oh yeah, and credit to the front office for sticking with him, and they were stand by your man, Tammy White-Netnet, those first 2 seasons so hard. Like I give him credit, because there was a lot of teams that I think would have bailed, like cut their losses pretty early on.
Which, speaking of standing by your man, let's talk about my pick for coordinator of the year, which they do that, right? I feel like they
do.
For some reason, I thought they did. Yeah, about lost my table now. Louis Anarumo, I think, has to win if that award is still being given out.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I do not think they do that.
I don't know if they do either, but Lou
for some reason
has
I
a
was
strong
thinking
case, even if it's imaginary.
Yeah, they do not.
So we have made up awards by Derek.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna also go with Lou.
Yeah.
Let's make a trophy for him.
For some reason, I don't know. I didn't remember it last year, but for some reason in my head, I felt like there was a coordinator of the year. Maybe I was given
they do that
case for it. Maybe okay. Maybe that's what it was.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, I mean, I can't imagine that Lou doesn't get a head coaching job in the off season. And I think I'm just emotionally preparing myself for that, because we all.
Yeah, I don't think I can emotionally prepare for that, because it's too devastating.
Well, will Brian Callahan get looks too?
If we're going down this rabbit hole, the free agents and who we're going to sign back.
We're just
let's just take it one game at a time.
You say that's the off season.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll come back on.
Yeah.
All right. So this handsome son of a bitch, Del.
I refuse to put it up. I'm like, I'm not putting that up.
He asked marry, fuck, kill NFC contenders.
Let's do this. Okay.
Eagles, Cowboys, 49ers. So this is basically like who you think is legitimate to who's not. Not that we're actually going to.
Oh, no. I thought this was totally based on like overall team looks.
I mean, we could do that too. We could do both.
I mean, one team does have a Kelsey. That's all I got to say.
No, man. I mean, if we're doing looks-wise, I would probably have to go with the 49ers. And personality-wise, fuck, what's his name?
I'm marrying I'm going to put it out there. I'm marrying the Eagles.
George Kittle?
Yeah, Kittle.
My mom might be watching. I'm effing the 49ers, and I'm killing the Cowboys 1,000%.
Is this based on?
No, this is based on everything. Looks and the teams.
I'm just going to go by quality of the teams. I know they've only lost one game, but they haven't really played anybody. Do you think that they've played anybody worth saying this is the best team in the NFC right now? The Eagles, yeah.
I think they have the one of the best divisions, but the NFC as a whole is also down too.
Yeah.
I'm going to put, just because of the team, the coach, and this is a guy that I ragged on like 2 years ago, but the 49ers, I think, is my top team. Then I'm going with the Cowboys.
So you're going to marry. You got to say it.
Okay, I'm going to marry Kyle Shanahan.
No, you're going to marry the team.
Yeah, marry the 49ers. Fuck the Cowboys, which, I mean, that just goes great anyway, and then kill the Eagles.
All right, so I'm gonna marry the 49ers. I think they're the best team in the NFC right now. I think they have the most explosive offense. Kittle, McCaffrey's playing great. Brandon Ayuk. I'm forgetting their best player, Debo Samuel.
Mm-hmm. Is he still injured, or is he?
But they are missing a quarterback. That's the thing. Quarterback wise, to win it all. But it's just the way their team structured. Their defense is really good.
Their defense is terrifying.
So Derek, shut up! You had your turn. Shut the fuck up! All right, that's it. You know what I'm doing? You're gonna take a drink and you're gonna go in timeout, Derek. Go in timeout. All right.
Oh no.
So
I just want to say all three teams have given my fantasy team just great life. I have the 49ers defense, AJ Brown, and CeeDee Lamb.
So, there you go.
Yes.
Nicole, don't make me throw the flag on everyone. I was not done.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dale. All right, you go.
All right.
Puts on sunglasses and he's Billy Badass.
I know. Blocking out the haters.
I married the 49ers. I'm going to fuck the Eagles because I think they're fuckable. They got a good team. I wouldn't put that. I like the 49ers better, so I'm going to marry them, but I would still fuck the Eagles hardcore. And then I'm going to kill the Cowboys because the Cowboys do cowboy things, and they fucking choke in the playoffs.
They do.
Yeah.
Kill them by choking. Like, if you're going to kill the Cowboys, choke them to death because that's what they do. That's my plan, at least.
I agree.
Let's see. I am going to marry the Eagles. We're going to F the 49ers and kill the Cowboys.
Oh,
I just think
girl.
I think the Eagles just have are solid all around, even though they haven't. I don't know. Their strength of schedule may be a question, but they have the receivers. They have the offensive line. They have the defensive line. They have the secondary. Like, they have it all. The 49ers
team. Yeah.
Yes. Niners they'd be the same way if they had a healthy quarterback. And then the Cowboys are going to cowboy. So,
yeah.
Listen, Pork Chop. I've got a night full of wrapping Christmas presents, so I can't be passed out by 11 o'clock. So that's why I'm not drinking yet.
Oh, fucking pour yourself a glass of bourbon and have a merry fucking Christmas.
It'll be fine. It'll make it go by faster.
Yeah.
I have to wrap after this too, so man up, dude. I'm man up.
Yeah, man up, bitch.
Man.
Pour glass. Do it. Whitney told you to. You do it. You don't question Whitney.
Hey, Declan, you want to pour me a glass of bourbon?
Declan.
That's his son.
That's my 6-year-old son.
Oh, man.
Joe, did you give yours?
I didn't. I had the same as the ladies here. I had marry the Eagles, F the Niners, and kill the Cowboys. I think the Eagles are the most complete team because I can't remember who said it, but the one thing the Niners are missing is a quarterback.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to win without a top level quarterback.
Let me ask you this though, like matchup wise, who would you least want to face in the Super Bowl?
The Eagles.
Eagles.
49ers for me.
I'm more scared of the 49ers in a way, I think.
Yeah. The
Why is
one
that?
thing
think
I
it's
was
the
going to
quarterback
say,
factor.
the one thing I was going to say before I interrupted Dale was the thing with Brock Purdy though is he's doing the exact same thing that Jimmy Garoppolo was doing. It's not like they're going out there and he's throwing, 80, 90 yards out of 15 attempts or something like that. He's actually throwing the ball. He's actually distributing to all their receivers and to McCaffrey and Kittle and all those guys. So to say that they don't have a quarterback, I don't necessarily agree with that. They just have a irrelevant quarterback, But I like the way he's played
just because
so
he's
far.
not a name doesn't mean that he's not getting the job done. He's getting the job done. He fits the scheme perfectly.
I think postseason's a whole new animal, though.
Yes.
It is.
That's true.
He's getting the job done now. I just don't want to trust that a guy with that little experience.
Yeah, you're right.
Super Bowl
And
run.
to marry, you have to have trust.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't even think about that, Joe. Didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Well, no, maybe we
I'll
should
go to
change
bed
our
with
picks
Niners.
too. Maybe we should have just listened to the women in the first place.
Brock Purdy can rock my world.
Don't clip that. No,
You're a slow learner and 100% clipping that. 100%.
Oh man.
I will be on my phone the moment this episode's over. And I'm going to text it to your wife.
Yeah, you guys want to wrap things up?
I'm in deep shit. So
you guys want to wrap things up with some?
I was going to say.
I'm 100% sick of talking to you guys. Nicole, if you want to stay on for a little bit, that's fine.
So 35-20 was Walter's prediction for the game. I'm going to say way more low scoring. I'm going to say we win 21-13.
Oh, I like that.
I've got 24-13 Bengals.
Nicole don't like going in order, clearly.
Sorry. I thought it was just you take it.
All right.
Stage.
Who do you want to go next?
No,
I'm taking Dale's prediction 21-13. I agree with that 100%.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Queen.
Yes, Queen.
It's empty. You need another one.
I like 24-17 Bengals.
Okay.
I'm going to say
pick the Patriots.
I was going to say 24-13, but I will say 24. Let's just go something weird. 24-15 Bengals.
15.
Yeah, why not?
What if we hold him down
I
think what if we hold him down to 10 or less points? I could see that happening too.
I could see it too. What if we won 35-0?
Put a goose egg on him.
Put a goose egg.
That would be great.
And without Hubbard, and we hold him to 0, that would just be orgasmic in my opinion.
You know what I want to see?
How fun will it be?
I want to see Hendrick's club on his hand.
Yeah,
Is he got that? That was one question I had for you, Nicole, and I put it in the chat earlier before we get out of here. What kind of vibe did you get from all the guys that are quote unquote questionable this week?
I feel like if there really wasn't a chance to play, Zach would have said it. So I think there's a good chance that those guys that are questionable have a good chance at suiting up. So I think health is wealth, and it's crazy. You saw Cam Taylor-Britt go down. I thought he broke his his collarbone. It looked bad, and I was scared. But the fact that he could play Saturday, that's huge. Eli popped up with an ankle, but he should play, and Hendrickson's back. So
Cheers to that. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Everybody but Sam?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, because Cheeto's out for the season, and then, but I mean, we're getting back Hilton, Hendrickson, people that didn't play last week, like that. I mean, those two.
I was just going to say, have we acknowledged how poetic and cute it could be that 1 week we beat Tom Brady, the GOAT.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next week we beat his GOAT head coach, Belichick, like back to back, like take down the old Patriots dynasty.
Yep. Let's get it done.
Belichick ain't nothing without Brady. There, I said it.
I know. I was already talking about that earlier, Derek. If you had been here,
I should have been here. Unfortunately, I had to, I guess, Christmas shop. But so, what do you guys think?
Do you want to say how like Birmingham makes you throw up and people should buy it?
That's not.
That is kind of.
I did not say it makes you throw up. I said you drink so much of it because it tastes so good that you could throw up. He said, "Don't repeat it." But yeah, Birmingham Meadery, Bengal Brew. There you go.
Oh Lord,
you're the worst at promos. It's
Derek,
so bad, it's good.
Derek, you want to talk about Betfred while you're at it?
I already talked about Betfred.
Talk about the Betfred party.
Nicole, have you sat in a suite?
Do I what?
Have you sat in a suite at a game?
Not sit in a suite. But I've had
they got like the reporter
people in a suite.
Yeah.
So no.
It's pretty cool. They have like food and beer, and then it.
Well, the Betfred isn't the Betfred one like decked out and stuff too?
Yeah.
That's sick. I love that.
Get me in there. Hey, Betfred, get a hold of our girl Nicole.
Hey, Betfred.
Yeah, let me come sit with y'all.
Why don't you get me in?
Yeah.
You guys went in.
Joe,
you left me out, and I'm in the cold. They're just waving. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, we were in there for the Browns game, and it was too warm. We were all taking our clothes
Yeah,
off.
play the subtle flex.
Yeah, that's definitely a subtle flex. Somebody got it.
And we'll never be back. We'll never be back.
Hey, there is. Make sure everybody know, or letting everybody know, there is there's a New Year's Eve party at the Moorline Logger House. We're doing midnight bets. Unfortunately, I have children. Not saying unfortunately because of that, but I have children. I won't be able to make it to that. And then there will be a New Year's Day party at the Fulling House in Cincinnati as well. So they're going to do. There's a lot of stuff. Betfred's doing a lot of stuff for Cincinnati right now, partying it up. Ready to get
and Derek won't be there at all because those stupid ass kids he had, stupid ass sperm out of his stupid ass penis into his wife's dumb ass vagina.
All right, Dale. God. It's been once you get past the hour mark. I know it's been off the rails all night, but once you get past the hour mark, that's when we got to cut Dale off. So
yep.
Thank you all for joining us.
Hold on. Let Nicole plug. Where can people find you at?
You can find me at Nicole Nicole Zembrodt Zembrodt on Twitter. Follow All Bengals at All Bengals. Got your latest Bengals content, locker room, off the field, all the good stuff.
I was gonna say Nicole could plug me, but I waited till she finished, and then I didn't say it. So
Nicole, right. I desperately want you to change your handle to like Nicole Bro or like it'll help people remember how to say your name, but then also that's just badass, like that you have Bro in your name.
It is badass. It is.
And with
Z-Bro, like Z-Bro.
And Whit, you're part of not just one, but two great shows. You want to plug those real quick?
Yeah, Tigers Talk, guys. We were just on last night, but follow Tigers Talk Pod on Twitter and the Morning Prowl.
You still on that? I thought you got replaced.
Game day started on Sunday morning. I was in Tampa last week.
I thought you were replaced by Bridget. I've seen her on there way more.
No, she's my sister, dude. Like we're all three in it together.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said is Whit going to be on there? I'm like, she lives in Tampa. Of course she's going to be on. And then Sure enough.
I don't live in Tampa. I had to drive 4 hours to get over there, and I was in the middle of partying. I was not going to get on at 9 a.m. for that. But yeah.
How's your mom doing, by the way? I miss your mom.
She's great. You want to talk to her later?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He said, "Tell her call me."
Okay. I have a restraining order on Matt, but not on you. You're allowed to talk.
Yeah, I'm sweet to your mom.
Give it time.
Shut up, Joe. All right, let's end it with a hooray!
Hooray! Cincinnati, we gon' rise and in the jungle we united tripping orange and black and white. Whole day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who got 'em, who rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em, yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. To the feastin' on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who they